Hello and welcome back to the Lime Tree Session podcast with me, Jack Milcrease.
Wonderful Skirk.
Scott Charlton.
And joining us this week in the studio, it's Keiran Bowe!
Hello.
Keiran, you've got a time machine. You can go whenever, wherever you want.
Would be when Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble in WWE in 2006.
What an answer! Oh yeah, me granddad's Alan Hull. How are we doing?
Thank you. Not too bad. How are you? She's
Very
good.
good, very good. It's nice to have you on. Have you listened to the podcast thus
I
far?
have indeed.
You have, yeah.
Have
We've got
indeed.
because sometimes we've had people in who haven't listened before, and it's a bit like getting them up to speed with the stuff that we're doing and what have you with the sections and stuff. But I think you're all clued up with what we've got in store. A few surprises,
I've
maybe.
done my
but
homework, but like I do a lot of bus travelling, so yeah. If I'm not listening to the music on the bus, I'm listening to a podcast. So when you put one out, I tend to listen to it.
Oh, that's
so.
good to hear.
Nice.
there we go.
So-
We didn't tell them to say that. We didn't pay them. Or anything. So we always talk about the gigs we've had at the weekend.
Damn.
I know. Do you know what? I was at my buskers night last night. Friend of the podcast, Gary. Hello, Gary. He listens all the time, and he was like, you know, when that section comes, I can't remember either because he gigs
Musician
as well.
thing?
Yeah. So he was like, I can't remember when I do a gig either. So, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
So I know.
Scott's just checking his phone.
Yeah. Just check your calendar. I was at Wilton Castle Golf Club
Oh, is that where
on Saturday.
Jack works?
Yeah. So I was.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
There's a running joke. We always shout out Jack Harvey. If we give Jack a
right,
wave.
Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
So I was stepping with the Hound Cats on Saturday at Wilton Castle Golf Club. And it was class. It was really, really funny because Jack the singer works at the golf club. So literally, up until the moment he played, he was in the kitchen serving us. So like he came out, he gave us some chocolate cake, which was very good.
Oh, very nice.
And then he sort of came out, took the chef's hat off and went, right, let's go. So that was hilarious. And it was good. It was a good little gig. Bit of a trek for me because it was Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, very enjoyable.
Very good.
Yourselves?
Yes, I managed to find out.
Yeah.
I'll leave this to you because I can't remember.
On Friday, we're in Wallsend at the Lindisfarne Club.
Yes, we were.
On Saturday, we're in Bishop Auckland. I can't remember the club like.
Please let him answer Sunday.
I always do. Lyndon, can you remember what we did on Sunday?
On Sunday.
It was a pub.
What did we do on Sunday?
Oh, I know where you were.
Jack knows
I know where you were.
Do you remember where we were, Lyndon?
No.
It was a pub. We've not been in years. It was the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
You got it?
No.
No.
It was it was. Can I answer?
Go on then. We're going to have to because Lyndon
I can't
doesn't
remember.
know.
I honestly can't remember where we were.
It was in Concord.
Oh, yes. The new Tavern
New
Concord.
Tavern.
That's how we're on Sunday.
That was a good gig.
It was a good gig, yeah. It was a nice... Cause
Even though I can't remember it, it was.
obviously, usually we play clubs and stuff, so we're starting like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But we got to start at 5, wasn't it? So we got home before 9, which was lovely.
I know.
Sunday gigs
Change.
are always early though, aren't they? So
Not for us.
Not for
No,
us.
well, no. If you're in Sheffield, maybe not. What did you think of the pub? Have you
It
been
was
before?
good. We've been before.
We have been before.
Yeah.
Two
but
times.
It was really nice, actually.
We
Oh,
never
nice.
have. I mean, sometimes when you talk to people about that club, they go, "Oh, it's rough."
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
But
Yeah.
we've never had a problem.
No, we've not.
Ever.
Oh, right.
But we know a lot of people who go there, so it's not too bad.
I think Concord itself is questionable.
I was just happy about how close it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I couldn't care if it was. They could be throwing Molotovs across the room. I didn't care. I was getting home at 9 o'clock. It was great.
Fair enough. Keiran, were you gigging?
Yes, what about
Yeah, you
your
were.
gigging?
I gigged Thursday.
Yeah.
It's nearly the weekend.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, man.
We are.
Yeah. At World Headquarters in Newcastle.
Yeah, yeah.
Worldies, as it's also known.
Whereabouts is that? I've always wondered.
I don't know where it is.
It's really strange. So you've obviously got the new building that's getting done where Stack was,
Yeah.
and it kind of continues down to like Askew Road, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is where the old fire station is?
Yeah, it's kind of behind.
Oh, right, aye.
That's not too far from Northumberland
It's
Street.
well known. It's not far off Northumberland Street at all, really. It's well known as a nightclub, which I
Right.
knew it as. But they started doing gigs there, and I just didn't know how that would work. But it was quite cool. They've got like a dedicated gig room,
Right.
with a stage, etc. And sounded good, and it was all right. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a bit of a. You never know how a midweek gig goes. Obviously, for original music, it can be few and far between. But there was a good crowd there, and it was absolutely chucking it down. So
Oh, it was on it. Yeah.
for how many people
Yeah.
were there, I was happy supporting a band called M60 from Manchester on their tour.
M60, all right.
Yeah.
It's a
Good bunch
great
of
name
lads.
for a band from Manchester.
Isn't it? But yeah,
the
it was-
M60 is the ring road that goes around Manchester. If anyone's interested.
there you go.
I did know that.
There you go.
Yeah.
But now they've got like, I think Worldies have got El Divine playing there soon as well.
Have they?
That's sold out.
Right.
Last time I was in Worldies before the gig was for a night out. I was at the bar. Disclaimer: if this was anyone's £50, then I apologise. But I was at the bar and there was £50 just under my foot, and I was like, all right, I'll just...
Or like a 50 note.
no, just like 2 20s and a 10.
All right, okay.
And
Really?
No, like it's like literally under me shoe, and I was like, oh well, that looks like it's mine, and I just pick it up, and there was like not many other people in, and no one like came to claim it or anything. So
Score.
yeah,
All right. Good
that
night
was the
then.
last time. That was about 4 years ago. Like, but
That's how
yeah.
you've been paid.
It's probably more than you got paid, wasn't it?
I don't know. To be honest, I still haven't been paid.
That's how you've been paid. That's how they did it. It stuck
Yeah.
to their shoe.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
It was gonna happen.
Like paying it forward. I find it amazing how many like new venues there are in the Northeast as a whole.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, back when I was like in college, or even maybe before that, it was always either the O2 or Think Tank.
Riverside.
Yeah, like there wasn't really much else. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, there's the arena and stuff like that, but I mean, like for more like smaller stuff. But now there's like venues on every street corner, like doing
Yeah.
something. It's amazing. It's really good.
That's good, like especially for opportunities.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You've got the Lubba. Is it Lubba Fiend or the Lubba?
Again, I
friend,
don't
I
know. It's
can't
another
remember
new
the
one.
name.
Never heard
I
of
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
I'm sure Hannah played there last week with a band called Butterjung. You've got Bobix and
Yeah.
Bobix,
Ah,
how
yeah.
it's pronounced, in Jasmine. Obviously the Clooney.
They do stuff in
familiar.
the Granger Market now as well.
Yeah,
I've seen a few of
started,
them.
haven't they?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty cool.
I know. So
Oh,
yeah, a
that'd be a
lot,
cool
lot
gig.
of lot of cool venues, even in Tymouth as well. You've got like a Salt Market that are starting to do gigs
Yeah,
more
yeah.
regularly, and Arches when it gets used for like the acoustic gigs. Yeah,
Again, there
over.
was only ever when I was like younger. It was only ever really like the Surf Cafe.
yeah.
Didn't or like for original music. I mean, I should say,
Mhm.
because I know like the Priory and like places like that, Barca and stuff. They've got like singers on and stuff. But for like original music, like you say, I think there was only the Surf Cafe really.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that there's like all these little venues and stuff like popping up.
No, it's a good thing. Like, especially a few opportunity for people that are up and coming. Like,
Absolutely, man.
there's so many open doors.
Absolutely. Okay, it's now time for.
What do you listen to?
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll let you go first, Jack.
Oh, the
I know.
switcheroo.
I was going to say table.
I'll always go first, so it's your turn, Jack.
All right, fair enough. So, was having a lovely wander through Whitley Bay the other day. It's probably my favourite place to go for a walk. I just love it, like the beach and everything. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna just for a laugh see if there's a playlist of Geordie songs while I'm at the beach.
I
Right?
bet a few exist.
Opens a can of worms, that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I found one, and I heard a song by Lindisfarne that I've never heard before.
All
You know,
right.
the other week when I was on here saying like there's a Beatles song I've never heard before. It's almost the equivalent of that, I'd say.
Okay.
So, Lindisfarne, would you like to guess which song I'd never heard before? That's
I'm
quite
not big on Lindisfarne, I'll be honest.
No,
not really, no.
You might know.
Do they do Running Man or not? No.
it's that's in the song. It's not the title.
Is it that song though?
It is
that
that
he's singing?
song.
for
yeah.
Home?
Yeah, yeah.
You'd never heard Run
I've
for
never
Home?
heard Run for Home,
Wow.
and I was like, because I mean, again, I've known probably Lindisfarne all my life, really, but again, I've only ever really known Meet Me on the Corner, Fogging the Tyne,
Yeah,
Lady
I'm
Eleanor,
same.
stuff like that. And then like on the first song on this playlist was Run for Home, and I was like, what a mint song! Like it's really good. And this is just a little segue into a conversation I had with Soph the other day, just on the topic of Lindisfarne.
Hi,
She-
Soph.
Hi, Soph. She was teaching in this. She teaches in schools, teaches drums, and she was teaching this this young girl. And this young girl, right? She was like, "Oh yeah, me dad. He doesn't want us to play drums. He want us to play the piano." And Soph was like, "All right, okay." And she was like this girl nonchalantly going, "Yeah, he's in a band, you know." And Soph's like, "All right." And she goes, "Yeah, have you heard of Lindisfarne?" And Soph's like, "Yes, I've heard of Lindisfarne." He went, "Oh yeah, my granddad's Alan Hull. So like,
Whoa.
As you do.
yeah,
Wow.
so my dad is now in the band or whatever." And I was
Name
like, "Bloody
dropping.
hell!" So Sophie teaches Alan Hull's granddaughter. So that's pretty cool. So
That is cool.
That's very cool.
yeah, that is really really cool. Anyway, what have you been listening to?
Want me to go next?
Ah, you go
You?
next, London.
Okay, well, mine's a reissued album.
Nice.
They recently reissued the Revolver album
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
with all the new stereo mixes and stuff. So, I mean, that whole album, but I'll pick one song. Taxman,
Yeah.
first song on the album, that's my favourite song off the album.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else. is on
What's
the
it like
album.
in stereo?
I mean, I think there is stereo versions out there.
Is there?
So,
All right.
but sounds great.
Yeah.
It's-
That's my favourite Beatles album.
Revolver.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is a really
love
good
it.
album.
And
I
your,
like
and
the
Your
later
Bird Can
stuff.
Sing is my favourite Beatles song of all time.
That is a good Beatles
I
song.
think it's Kelvin's favourite Beatles song as well, isn't it? And
Rob's.
Your Bird Can Sing.
Rob's favourite Beatles song.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Kelvin's.
Hi Rob, hi Calvin.
Hello, if you're watching. Yeah. So Taxman,
Yeah.
the Beatles reissue. I can't remember how many years it's been. It'll be 60. Oh, it'll be something 5, won't it? So it's 67, was it? Revolver.
I'm not sure.
60.
70 now. What would that be?
I don't know. Maths isn't my strong suit. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
The viewers can work.
It's
it out.
an
fine.
anniversary.
65, did you say?
67. It'll be
67. So
Here we go.
53, on 55 years.
55. There you go.
There you go.
That's it.
55 years since it was released, but it's
Wow.
a great album
It's
for
awesome.
that.
Scott?
I've been listening to a song by a band called Air, and a song called One Way Out.
Nice.
And Milan actually saw them at the Clooney when they were supporting Clean Cut Kid a few months back. Now.
Mhm.
We're a band from Manchester, and it's just really cool music. It's got this sort of. You heard a band called Doors? And
Heard of
you've
the
heard of-
Doors?
Yeah,
I think I've shown you Doors before. And
I think
anyway,
so.
it's got that sort of sound to it. It's just cool. It's cool music. Yeah,
They were really
they were
good.
really
like,
good.
We really enjoyed them when we saw them.
Nice.
Then the new song is in that similar vein of that past, but it's also got like the music video has like a country feel to it, and they've done a live video called From the Ranch sort of thing,
Nice.
which
Yeah.
is really cool.
They were
But
quite
it's
funny
just-
as well when we were on
They were,
stage.
yeah,
we
they
were
were
having a
really
good laugh
good.
at everyone, which is really cool.
But either mint band, One Way Out, just check it out.
Excellent.
Kieran, what about you?
There's, can I cheat? There's 2 songs.
Yeah, yeah.
listened
Way
to on
aye.
repeat. First song is by a band up and coming from Liverpool called Stone.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
And it's called, I had to look at it there just to make sure I got it right, but Money in brackets, Hope Ain't Gone. Takes us back to like 2006, 2007 era of like proper in your face chorus, big chorus, like, I don't know, just very, can't pinpoint it to a certain, what it sounds like, which is always a good thing, I suppose, if you sound like original.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of it at the minute though. And the other one is Looking for Somebody to Love by the 1975, off the new album.
Great new album.
Flawless. And I went off them for a long time, and
yeah,
then
I was the same.
I've came back and rediscovered me love. Aye, that song's just move your hips to it, don't you? It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched the video for Oh Caroline, is it called?
Yes.
That's the first one, isn't it?
Have you seen the music video where it's one shot
Aye.
and it goes like round the band, round these like curtains and that?
Isn't that a live one that
Yeah.
they did?
Yeah,
Was it for BBC Radio 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, really,
is really
really
cool.
good.
cool, isn't it?
I would
Very
have do
clever
something like
video.
that at one point, like
Yeah,
the one shot camera rotates around.
like that's the most impressive thing. Like when people do it like in one take, because you know, peering behind the
Yeah,
curtain
it's
here.
impressive on an artist's point of view, but also behind the camera point of view.
This is what I'm saying, because I
Yeah.
mean, like, you know, people cheat, and you know, there'll be multiple takes of things and like different camera angles and stuff, but there's no cheating there. I mean, there's like it's
No.
one camera all the way around. Take has to be right. You know, if the camera went out of focus, for example,
Exactly,
and you go, oh,
yeah.
we'll just have to start again or whatever. So it's just impressive. It's very, very cool.
It is, yeah. They've got the 1975 seem to have a good team behind them
Oh, aye.
of all different like jobs and stuff, like their music,
Big
techs
production
and
team. Yeah.
that all their camera guys, all just behind the scenes.
The
It's
set
seem to be
design's great. and
proper
all that
onto it,
always.
yeah. They've got a good team going along.
Aye.
So there you go. Is that your two?
That's my
Stone
two.
in 1975.
Stone in 1975, yes.
Excellent. So we're here to talk about Kieran's new song, which you're going to be performing for us a little bit later on, which will be on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. There'll be a link somewhere on screen and down below. Your new song, what is it?
Called Barcode.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the message?
the message? I know.
Do you know
Everyone's saying-
what I was talking about Keith Lemon before, and I'm a celeb? When he had an artist on, that's what he did. Well, what's the message
know,
behind
yeah.
it?
That's why I said
Aye.
it.
Oh, is that why you said it? Well, what's the
the
message
message?
behind it?
There's the innuendo. It's the feeling that like everyone's just got their own number, and that you just get like scanned and passed to one side like an item. Kind of a metaphor for like mental health, in a sense.
Right.
Just feeling like you're just getting pushed to one side all the time and just forgotten about as such. And it's just, I think the song's just asking the question whether that is the case.
Yeah.
Not looking for an answer from anyone, just
Mhm.
putting it out there.
It's an interesting point of view actually, because I've said countless times on this podcast that we're in the Matrix. And to be fair, he's got
I
a
don't know, you're
point.
saying and you agree.
I don't go on about
Yeah,
it like he does.
that's
though.
true, that's true.
I agree with him, though.
Yeah.
I do agree.
No, I think you've got a very valid point. Too many things happen in my life where like you just think, who has decided this? You know, so it's
Yeah,
it's real.
I mean, I kind of believe in fate, but then it's just like it's about like one particular period where everything was just going west,
Right.
and it's just like why is like all this happening? Like why
Yeah.
it's just shit just keep coming at us,
Yeah.
and I suppose it's just then asking that question in today's society.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Absolutely. So it's very current. It's very yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Oh, mint! I can't wait to hear it.
No, nice
We're
one.
gonna have Keiran in here playing it, and like I say, we'll put it at the end of the
We will,
podcast
we
as
do,
well,
yeah.
don't we? So we put it at the end of this podcast. But if you want to just hear the song, there'll be a link up here and below. Barcode, check it out. So now it's time for
The Lime Tree Time Machine.
okay, Lime Tree Time Machine. Concept is, Keiran, you've got a time machine. You can go whenever, wherever you want. We say this every time. We kind of said the same thing.
Yeah.
We all said Live Aid, just because it's Live Aid. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be music related, or you can have one music related and one not music related. Whatever you choose. You got a time machine.
Where you going?
Where you going?
No, I was thinking Live Aid when it got mentioned that this question was gonna come up.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, like that would be too like
Good.
generic.
Mm.
But the good, great.
Yeah.
I'd love to be there, but I was just guessing that you've done this that many times that
Yeah.
someone said that before, and I obviously listening to it, I knew someone had.
We're just basic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
basic. Yeah, there's probably two places I'd go. First would probably be, I think it was called. There's a pub in Newcastle, currently near the gate. And it's named after what it used to actually be named, and used to have gigs there. It's near
Oh, the
gate.
Mayfair.
The Mayfair.
Oh,
First
aye.
would be the Mayfair to see T-Rex.
Mint.
That would be
whenever
cool.
That
they
would be cool, yeah.
played there. I think it would have been early-
70s?
Yeah, 70s,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Yeah. Because T-Rex are my favourite band of all time.
No, mint.
And I adore Mark Bolan. So there would be my first place to go.
Yeah.
Good one.
And my second place I would go would be when Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble in WWE in 2006.
What an
5 or 6,
answer.
I believe.
What an
Not
answer.
expecting that.
I did not. No, I didn't expect that.
Thought I'd throw a curveball in there, but I used to be such a huge WWE fan.
Yeah, man.
I remember when Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble, and I remember being in primary school, being buzzing, because I literally had as much figures as I could of Rey Mysterio in different suits.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was my idol. So when he won the Royal Rumble, I was like a proud son of Rey Mysterio's.
Right.
So,
Did you have the mask?
I didn't have the mask. No.
Oh, mate.
I've always wanted the mask, and I was kind of devastated.
Guess who had a mask?
Did you have the mask?
Oh,
Do you have the
Jack.
mask?
I used to have the mask, yeah.
Wow.
I was quite into wrestling. I was probably like a year of my life. I was really into wrestling.
Uh-huh.
And I think I still have all the figures in the loft, but I think the mask deteriorated because I don't think it was exactly official issue. I think it was like a knockoff from like the Quayside or something.
Woolworths or something like that.
Yeah. So the mask went the journey. But yeah, I was mega into like all that at one stage. Like,
Interesting.
That would have been
answer.
like 2005, wouldn't it? 2006. when
Probably,
we did
yeah.
that.
Last week.
Yeah.
Aye.
aye.
Yeah, that was my curveball.
I was mega into the game. Like I had like the
SmackDown
Xbox
versus
game.
Raw.
Yeah, man.
I had that. Even I had
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
What a
On the
game.
PlayStation 2.
I
You
see how
still got your PlayStation 2 games out there on your shelf?
Yeah, I still got my PlayStation 2.
Have you seen his collection?
Yeah.
we've been saying for ages that we're gonna have a
Could have
games night.
games night as a discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. We've had like quizzes and stuff in here, but we've not actually had like set up like a console or anything.
Yeah, we need,
so
we need to have a games night, like.
I'll definitely smash us all on SmackDown.
I remember all
Know
those like
yours, know
SmackDown Here
yours.
Comes the Pain, SmackDown versus Raw, and then all the years it was. And then what is it now? Like WWE?
Yeah, they call it like
2K,
2K whatever now, don't
Yeah.
they? That's not the same. There was a game I had, going off on a tangent here, sorry. There was a game that I had that came out one year, and it was all of the classic wrestlers from like the 70s, so you could play as like Hulk Hogan and people like that, right?
Bret Hart.
Yeah. And it was, I can't remember what it was called. It must have been called like Wrestling Gold or Wrestling, I don't know, something like that. Same people who make the SmackDown game, but it was like a separate
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
thing or whatever. And that was quite cool. I have to admit, that was pretty cool.
I remember being of that age and I got given like someone passed down some toys to me,
Sure.
and it was like an old wrestling ring, but it had like the entrance arena.
Uh-huh.
And you put like the figures weren't exactly flexible, but you put them on this like the entrance bit, and if like each figure had a metal underneath the shoe, so when you put them on this metal bit, it would play their entrance music, which was for the time,
Really?
because it must have been from the early 90s. These
Yeah,
figures, but
yeah.
there was like Mankind, there was Stone Cold,
Yeah.
and I was just a bit like fascinated, and I was like, is this technology like that these days? Because to me that was pretty like
Cutting edge for the time.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
That, I know, getting past something that I thought was going to be years old, and then I
Yeah.
stand the figure on and starts playing music. I was like, whoa,
It's pretty cool.
yeah. And
Who knew that we both like wrestling? I've never
All
told
that would
anybody
be
this.
talking about wrestling on today's podcast.
Yeah.
if anyone tuned in at like this point of the video, they'd think this was like a UFC or
Yes.
like WWE podcast.
Yeah.
But
The Rock's
Yeah.
going to walk in a minute.
Do you know, I've
He'll
never
bang his
wa-
head.
He
but, you know,
struggles.
yeah.
I've never watched any wrestling. Like
what?
no.
Have you not? Even
I've
I've
never
watched
been into
wrestling.
it.
Really?
Never. Yeah.
What was your alternative?
Well, I don't know. What did I? Suppose just football.
I love football.
Yeah. I
Wow.
can't think of anything else that I was that into as you were into wrestling.
What about Power Rangers?
No, I was never into none of that. I mean, I like
Wow.
Doctor. I
I
like
quite
Doctor
like
Who.
Power
We've talked
You
about
do- you
Doctor
do-
Who
oh,
before.
don't get no.
I'm not. I never. I mean, I watched the odd bit on TV when I was a kid, the Power Rangers and stuff, but I was never action figures and stuff.
He doesn't like it when I bring my Doctor Who cup in here.
No.
Are you not a Doctor
really.
Who fan?
No.
No,
Doctor Who
that
fan.
was
Feel like
probably the thing I was most into. Was if like when you
Yeah,
went
me
into
too.
WWE.
Be outnumbered here, wouldn't I?
Aye, we're all pretty much into Doctor
I like
Who.
Doctor Who. I stopped watching it like the second season of Matt Smith because it didn't. I felt like it just got too complicated for what it was.
Yeah, you're right.
So I liked it when it was at its best. I'd say controversial. Well, actually, no, it's not controversial. It's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I liked it when it was at its best. I will watch the 60th anniversary though because I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, aye,
So
definitely.
I'll watch that.
I just remember being a kid and like there'd be like people playing out when you were younger,
Aye.
and like one of them used to always run around with a sonic screwdriver, and I just thought, like, it's a lot cooler to walk around with like Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber from Star Wars. Like, how like
I'd
why
remember
would you?
both, to be
I'd-
fair.
One in one
did-
hand.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did have a screwdriver. Like,
Did you?
Oh,
yeah,
I've
David
got a few.
Tennant's one.
Did you ever dress up?
No, I never dressed
No,
up.
no.
No. All right.
Oh, I did. Mace Windu's lightsaber, Anakin
you?
Skywalker. Oh, aye.
So you had Star Wars and WWE.
Yes, that was me. That was me as a child.
Nice.
Well, there you are. Bit of insight into Keiran.
There you go. Geek it hard.
I never did the dress up thing. I don't think like
No.
I never did. I? No, I don't think I did. Like Halloween and stuff. I it was never really me.
For Halloween for me was more a case of how much chocolate could I get and
Oh,
money
yeah.
off people. That I was never about dressing up.
There was-
although
there
I
was-
did to do it.
There was one year for Halloween, right, where we all went round our estate and everyone else got like really into it. Like I remember going to my mate's house and like his brother was like painting like something on his face or whatever, and then like there was all these lasses that we hung out with, and they all got really dressed up and stuff. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I decided I had like a really shit camouflage balaclava, and I was like, I'm just gonna wear that. So there was me dressed normally, just with a balaclava on, and like people were like, he's not made any effort there. Like last year, no, not really. It wasn't last year, but yeah, no, I never did the dress up thing. It was not really my style. I couldn't be asked. I think that's the top and bottom of it. I don't think I could be bothered to put in that much effort in my outfit.
Yeah.
I wear the same thing every day. If you look, when we do more of these visual podcasts, you'll notice that Jack just wears the same thing every day. Like he might change.
Fine, you've got a style. So
Might change his t-shirt, but everything else is definitely the same. It's now time for
Quick fire questions.
okay. First question. I feel like we may have answered these before, but they're catered,
Our
That's for-
answers
that's for
might have
Keiran.
changed as
That's for
well.
Keiran.
they're catered for the artiste. So okay, what's the reason you got into music? If there is one specific reason.
Or how you
It
got
is
into
deep, you
it,
know.
or just the
It
reason
is
for
deep.
who, or
I've always like for Christmas. I always like had something bought for us musically. I remember when I was in like 8, 9, I had a keyboard bought for us, and I looked at like the sheets, etc., and immediately was put off. I was like, nah. And then I trained. Well, I didn't train myself, but I just started playing by ear,
Right.
listening to music, and then just playing like a key and finding it. And then a few years later, I got bought a guitar, but never really picked it up. And then, I started getting to that age where I was like writing stuff down in terms of why I felt a bit shit one day, etc. And then started putting that into lyrics, I suppose, and
Right.
strumming along whilst I could barely play a chord. And then kind of progressed from there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer. Your earliest memory of listening to music. We've not answered this one.
We've
before.
not actually.
No.
We'll answer afterwards because that'll be
Okay.
quite good.
I always get reminded of it, and I say T-Rex is my favourite band, but it's because I've been reminded of it. I've got that memory, and I do remember things from my childhood. But can you remember when, you were younger and you had these bouncer things that used to hang on the door and you used to bounce up and down in them? You used to
Yes.
get
As a
trying to get you,
baby.
like a
As a
walk. Yeah, as a
baby.
baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh.
Not like last week. Right,
No,
okay.
not.
Depends what you're into.
I was gonna say, I remember Billy Elliot was on the telly,
Okay.
and I Love to Boogie came on, and I've been told, that there was me just
Boogieing.
bouncing up and down.
Nice.
I Love to Boogie, and then I remember just like that song sticks with us from being like a youth. So it just all revolves around that song.
Yeah.
Whenever I remember it, I don't know when I would have remembered it, but yeah,
Yeah.
that would be it.
Do you remember a time in your life when you didn't know that song? Do you know what I mean? Because if you were that young, have you just remembered it all of your life?
I kind of have, because
That's really cool.
there was that, and then when I was 5 or 6, I got we were out shopping, and my auntie was like, "Oh, here's some money, go and buy something." And I don't know what shop we're in, to be honest, but I came out with T-Rex's greatest hits.
right.
I don't know
Really?
why. Seriously, yeah, literally, it was like an orange CD, and I remember buying that orange CD because I remembered what my dad's CDs looked like around the time, and they were similar to this Mark Bolan just being on the front, and he was on the front, and it was like an
Yeah,
orange
yeah.
CD, and
Yeah.
so I think I've always known the song because it's either always been around us or
Yeah.
yeah,
That's really
How
cool.
old
That's
would you
cool.
have been then? Did you say?
5 probably.
Really?
Yeah.
I think my first CD was a fucking X Factor single or something.
What was your early? What's the question? Earliest memory of listening to music?
Well, when we said about us doing it, I was trying to think, and I've got two. I can't remember which one came first. One of them being, do you know the band Heart?
Yeah.
Do you know the song Alone?
Yeah,
I didn't
that's a
get
great
you
song.
alone. I remember, well, it was always just been me, my mum, and my brother. And I have a memory of, do you know Royal Keys in North Shields?
Mm.
How it used to have I don't know if it still does, they have the shops and stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember going down there a weekend in the car, me and brother at the back seat to listen to Heart
Right.
Alone. And it's just, that song's always stuck to us for that reason.
It's a great song.
Another one is being at my grandma and granddad's and listening to Band of Gold.
Yes.
While setting up the dishes for our tea and stuff, me and brother would be dancing around, listening to it and all that, and singing along. So
Wow.
I can't remember how old I would have been on either of those, but pretty young,
Yeah.
young. So they're mine.
That's amazing. Lyndon?
Mine would be sort of music in the car, I think. It's that
Yeah,
sort of,
That's usually
That's where
how
it starts.
happens,
isn't it? It's like my parents are both sort of, even though they were born in the 60s, it's sort of the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
grew up. So we had lots of 70s and 80s CDs in the car, stuff my mother would listen to. And just all of that. I can't remember any specific song. It was just sort of loads of different 70s and 80s stuff, but sort of like pop stuff my mother would listen to.
Yeah.
That probably would have been on it at some point, but nothing specific. That's the earliest time I can remember music.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I wasn't really into music until high school, really.
Yeah.
Even going through primary school, music didn't bother us.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I started playing myself
Sure.
that I got
yeah.
more into music.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just whatever was on the radio.
It's really interesting. No, I guess because I feel like my earliest memory of listening to music and being like, "What's that?" was probably when I watched School of Rock when I was 6 years old for the first time and
Oh,
wanted to
yeah.
play guitar. I think we've talked
Well,
about
I
that
think
before.
right.
But I feel like similar to you, there was definitely stuff on in the car. I feel like I was into AC/DC before I watched School of Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had a PSP, the first ever PSP that
Nice.
came
Oh,
out,
aye.
and my dad was prior to that I had a Game Boy,
Oh,
and the
Game
Game
Boy
Boy,
Advance.
yeah,
Mhm.
the flip one,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
I never had a Game Boy?
No, me neither.
Really?
I went from a DS to a
Yeah.
PSP.
Yes, I was exactly the same as you. The S to PSP.
Because the Game Boy was like just the games, but I remember this PSP was like it was a multimedia thing.
You
could
could
have
watch
anything.
films on
I
and stuff,
had
couldn't you?
because I had on it, but because my dad had like definitely got this legally. He put my favorite episode of Doctor Who on, full circle here. Dalek from the first series,
All right.
Right,
Okay.
aye.
favorite episode. Probably not now, but it was at the time it was my favorite episode. So we managed to put that on there legally. And on it was, and there was also 6 songs on this PSP. And if I remember correctly, it was Ace of Spades by Motorhead, Hell Spells by AC/DC, Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. I can't remember who the song was by, but it used to go motorbiking, doom, doom, motorbiking. I don't
Oh, I
know
don't
what
know.
song it is, but I just remember that was on it because we used to go to monster truck rallies, and they would always be playing
All
that.
right. Okay.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
So that was a song that they always played for some reason. They always used to play that dance remix of Hey Hey Baby Ooh Ah. They always used to play that
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
And I feel like that was on my PSP as well. So anyway, I don't know. That was probably all around the same time. But I remember watching School of Rock, having sort of heard these songs, being like, "Oh, that's class," and then going, "Can I have these accessible to me?" Because I didn't have like an iPod or anything, and I just
Mhm.
had this PSP, and I was like, "Oh, I could listen to Motorhead while I'm playing, Forza or whatever." So that was probably my first memory of like listening to music and being like having the listen experience, not just
Yeah.
like
yeah.
So it's really interesting. That's like
I know it's a
I
cool
know
question, that, isn't it?
it is a good question. Whoever wrote these questions,
Did a good job.
You did.
You
did.
Questions.
we'll go to the next question. What's the best gig you've been to? And I think we should possibly add on to this as well. Your first gig.
Yeah, we could do that.
We may have answered that
Yeah,
before, but
yeah.
it'd be good for Keiran. So best gig and first gig.
Best gig. Wow. I always get stumbled when answering this question. It might change on a day-to-day basis. I
You
don't
could
know.
list a few. You could list like your greatest gigs.
Foo Fighters at Leeds Festival. But
Men.
it's the first time I'd seen them, and I've never stood for 2.5 hours willingly, like watching
Yeah.
something, but I was
In awe.
in awe,
Yeah.
transfixed. Probably most definitely them, and because of the occasion in the day, when Sam Fender played the Prairie in Time Out,
Yeah, yeah.
it was like 26 degrees, and it was like very limited tickets. And remember that day I was working, and I was working in a factory at the time, and I didn't have a ticket because it was very much like a priority kind of thing or whatever it was. And I got a message whilst at work saying, if you can come to Sunderland, I don't know who it was, pick up a ticket. You can have it. So I literally finished work at 4:30, travelled straight to Sunderland, got a ticket from Sunderland, got the bus back from Sunderland to mine, quickly got changed, and then got a taxi to Time Out. And
Wow.
it was like 26 degrees, you could take your own beer in, and obviously it was around like the success of the first album as well, and the whole thing was just
Yeah.
mint. I never really experienced anything like it, especially on like a bit of a cliff overlooking the sea.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just mental. It was really, really good. But them are probably the two gigs that stick out. And
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd say my first gig, you obviously know Harry and Joe.
Yes.
We started off like as a covers/original band. Wanted to be an original band, but we had loads of covers in there, more covers than originals. And we played at one of my local social clubs, the Aladdin Club, and we'd sorted out. Like the room was literally packed the rafters, people standing up because there wasn't enough seats and tables. But we probably killed a lot of covers and a lot of songs that day. I think we did a few Stone Roses numbers, a few Catfish and Development numbers. Aye. Look back at it as a fond memory, but it also at the same time it's like, how did we actually sound? Because We were young.
Many
and
videos anyway.
Those are the
There
type
will
of,
be somewhere.
those are the type of experience that grows you as an artist, though, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Where
Sound like a
Aye.
right parent, don't
I
you?
know.
Like,
Well, it's true, though, isn't it?
I mean,
It's
our
how it
first
builds
gig
you
was
as
an
an
interesting
artist.
one.
Aye. Well, or the Killy Club.
No, our very first gig as a band.
I can't think. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Am I thinking of the right one?
With Calvin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
How can you remember your first gig, but you can't remember Sundays?
That's a good question, Kieran.
Because our first gig, we played a funeral.
Oh, yes, I
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
was
did.
it Calvin's great granddad?
I think it was, yeah.
They wanted music at the
What
funeral.
did you play?
Just my 60s.
Was it all the upbeat stuff?
Yeah.
There's a lot of it was quite upbeat, yeah. Yeah, there was people dancing.
Wait, his sister was. She was up dancing. Kelvin's sister was quite young.
It
at
was
the
quite a
time.
good gig, to be fair. But that was our very first
First
gig.
proper paid
First
gig.
proper gig was at Killy Club.
But obviously, we did stuff at Seton Burn and stuff like that. What was your first gig, playing wise? Because I don't think we've answered that. We've said first gig that we went to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
no,
said what we
that's
played.
what I
That was
meant.
what he was
That's what I
getting
meant.
at.
That's fine. Like,
Oh, right.
Well, do you want to quickly do yours now then? That you've went to watch.
Although
then
it was
we'll
quite
do-
good that you did that because I never considered
I didn't think of that. It's a better question to be
Yeah,
fair.
we'll add that for next time.
The first gig I went to watch.
Yeah, you
yeah,
went
yeah.
to watch.
Oh, crikey, that was Snow Patrol. Didn't know who they were.
Was it?
Yeah.
Where
See, I like
The
Snow
arena?
Patrol,
I like Snow Patrol as well.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, the arena.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Were you dragged along? Was that sort of thing?
I had like a school friend in primary school. I think I was in year 4, maybe it's even year 3. I don't know. And I was walking. I always used to walk back from school with either his mum or my mum. Used to alternate. And then I think it was his mum this specific night. And I think actually no, my mum was there as well this time. And I'm like, oh, you're going to the arena at night to watch a band called Snow Patrol, and I was like, just went along with it because I was a kid. I can't really remember what I said or anything. And I remember chasing cars because obviously I know the song now,
Yeah.
and obviously you switch back. But other than that, a complete blur.
Mm-hmm.
A
Wow.
complete and utter blur. That was
That's
my
a good
first.
one.
Do you know what's a really good song by Snow Patrol? The
What?
Lightning Strike.
I don't
You
know.
heard
I've
that
heard
one?
that one.
Oh, it's so good.
I like Open Your Eyes.
That's also a good
That's a
one,
great
yeah.
song. Yeah.
Is that the one that's the videos, the Ferrari blasting through
Oh,
Paris?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember.
I've never seen the video. I've just heard the song.
I'm sure it is.
It might be, yeah.
Good
Is
song.
it Tell Me to
Yeah.
Open? Yeah, it is. The video is, it's from a film. Some
All
guy
right.
had, it's a famous film, but is it Rendezvous, the film?
I don't know.
It's a famous film, but he had some film left in his camera, and he bolted it to the front of his Ferrari, and he blasted through the streets of Paris.
Really?
And that's the music video for that
cool,
song.
I'll have to
I
look
had
at
it on
that.
Top Gear. Again, my
Ah,
fond of
right.
knowledge is.
There we go.
There we go.
I wondered how you had this knowledge.
They
yeah.
brought it up on Top Gear, but no, but
It's not just
that
something you
song.
Google, is it?
No, but no, it's a good song.
Very good.
So what was your first performing gig, Jack?
I actually don't know because if we're talking,
I suppose first paid gig.
You say that, ours will still be that funeral.
I don't
It
know
would be,
actually
yeah.
because I'll give you a couple of answers and you can just determine which one is the real one.
Okay.
No, it's not a quiz. It's not a quiz, but
Which one is it more likely to be? Like, would I like you?
the first time I played live and it was like a moment, shall we say? I hate to use that, but like a significant time. When I was 8 years old, I got it with my guitar teacher in a pub.
Is that what that photo
That's
is?
what that
yeah,
photo
I've
is.
seen that
Yeah,
photo. That is
insert
cool.
photo here, Jack. When you're editing this, put the photo in. So that was probably the first time I got up and played, and it was like a real experience that I can still remember it now. First paid gig was probably I can't remember where it was. Oh, I do know where it was. I can
Hey.
think right. Okay, so I used to be in a terrible club band. I won't say the name of them because they're not still going. They're going under a different name, but I won't say the name. So, but the first gig, I joined the band and they were like, all right, okay, here's Wood Diary for the next, few months or whatever. And there was, name a club that you've done, it was probably on the list, Millview, all the ones in Middlesbrough, Heaton Buffs, places like that, right?
Yeah.
But the first gig was a one-off gig that really set the precedent of like what the future beholded, right? So the first gig was at that Bar Loco in Newcastle,
Oh,
right?
God.
Oh wow.
But bear in mind, we're a club band, right? Next, you've been, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it's not my...
Do lovely pizza.
Yeah, it's where we went.
Yes.
Yeah, we went
What a
before
game,
a match
yeah.
once.
Right. I don't know what it was like back what
God,
it's like now.
Lord.
But back then, fuck me, like if you couldn't see the people in front of you for the drugs in the air, like it was that kind of place. Anyway,
How did you get the gig? As a
I
club
don't know.
band?
I think it was like a favor for someone.
It
I
must-
don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So the reason I remember it being the first paid gig now that we've mentioned it, is so the gig itself. Bearing in mind we're a club band, we're all in half suits, wearing shirts and stuff, and we're opening up with "Greatest Day" by Take That.
Get in.
Rock and
In this,
roll.
I mean,
Kieran's impressed.
yeah,
I love
the
Take That, I do
place.
love Take That, but I'm just trying to imagine. your
Yeah,
situation.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of venue. It's the kind of venue you'd go see a rowdy punk band or something. You know what I mean? So anyway, and when we're all playing a track as well, it's all on track and all on clicking stuff. My first gig with them as well.
Oh no.
And I remember it really well because somebody, like the really long tables.
Mhm.
Someone was dancing on one of them in the middle of Greatest Day, and then they proceeded.
Your opening song and someone's already dancing on
and then they
tables.
proceeded to get off and pick the table up and chuck it across the room, which was really weird.
Club life.
No, well, it wasn't a fucking club. That's the
It's
problem.
like a table, ladders, and chairs match.
Yeah, it was really. So it was really odd, and then they were all just off their tits, and it was really odd. And then at the end of the gig, I shit you not, this didn't happen. It was a lot better than this at other occasions, but I got paid £12.50 for that night.
Get in.
Right, which was obviously a one-off. And I remember saying to the keyboard player, I was like, "Is this what it's always like?" And he went, "No, it's really not." And he sort of said, "Please don't leave because this is not what
Yeah.
it's normally like." And it wasn't, to be fair. After that, it was just your standard club crack, and it was a one-off. But that was probably my first paid gig that probably sticks out in my mind. There might have been other ones where they might have said, "Oh, do you want to play here for 30 quid or something or whatever?"
Yeah.
But that was probably my first paid one. I haven't thought about that in years, actually.
That's a great
I
story.
remember me dad because I don't know. Was I driving at this point? No, I hadn't passed my test at this point. I don't think. So my dad was driving us about. Or if I did pass my test, I don't think I was insured yet. I can't remember. Either way, I wasn't driving. My dad was driving us about. So my dad, instead of going to the place, dropping me stuff off, dropping me off, going away, coming back and picking me up, he decided to stay. Bloody hell, my dad was not happy. Because he was like, when he left, he was like, "If someone pulls us over now, they're gonna really think that we've been doing something we shouldn't because we're fucking stunk afterwards." It was really bad. Anyway, so yeah, that's probably my answer. And if Bar Local are watching, I really hope that you've changed your management because it was not. It was a really weird
I love
night.
it there, me. I do.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was cool.
It's definitely changed. It's definitely changed because this was
That's
like
such a contrast from our first one.
Yeah.
I kind of
Funeral to Bar Local.
Funeral, bloody hell. That's just mental. Anyway, next question. If you could be on a lineup with two artists in history, who would it be?
Anyone?
Dead, alive, whatever you want.
David Bowie
Yeah.
Shout.
and oh god,
I mean, T-Rex would be a good.
no, nah,
You'd not want to be on.
nah. I'd want someone crazy.
Mark Bolan's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the stories like. Yeah, I don't know.
Rey Mysterio. If he played music.
The Rolling
be a mixed
Stones,
event.
probably.
The Rolling Stones.
Yeah, Bowie and the Stones.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really good. Yourself?
My initial instinct would be to say ELO
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know? I feel like mine and your answers are going to be really obvious.
and the Beatles.
Yeah, be difficult, but yeah,
It would be difficult.
Yeah, it'd be good. Well, I suppose Dead or Alive would be fine.
Yeah.
but
Them too.
good answer, Scott. I guess yours?
You can have a go.
Well, Bruce Springsteen
Yeah, it was
for a
Bruce-
start.
yeah, he's one of them. Yeah.
Be Bruce Springsteen
Four.
and
I think George Harrison.
all right.
Oh, yeah.
All Things Must Pass the Era.
Yes.
Just the band he had and how he got guests up with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would love that, to be able to witness that type of thing.
Good answer.
Yeah, I reckon that.
I reckon you could probably guess mine.
Tom Petty
Yeah.
and
Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams, yeah.
I probably wouldn't pick Brian
Okay.
just for the. I've thought about this. just because like I think those two are too different on a lineup bill. So I'd pick somebody else. I'd have Tom Petty's the headliner,
Uh-huh.
and then I'd have someone in the middle. Then I'd have me opening up with like 2 measly songs, and then I'd just get off the stage.
Ooh. Do we know who they are?
Yeah. We
Solo or band?
solo. We play one of their songs.
Oh.
The 2 Cold Wonder that we play.
Oh, does Tennessee
Oh.
Whiskey? Whoever does Tennessee Whiskey? I
Yeah.
have no idea who does
Oh,
that.
what's he called? Oh,
Is it Chris Stapleton?
That's the
yes,
one,
it
yeah.
is.
Because
Alright,
they're pretty similar. So I think that would be
Aye,
really
they're your
cool.
bag, aren't
But
they?
Bryan Adams, like that would be unbelievable. Brian Adams doesn't have support acts.
All right.
Like he doesn't play. Like
He doesn't need support.
he plays for 3 hours, and that's the gig. It's just hit. Ooh, voice
Oh
break.
wow.
Ahem.
As an alternative to the Stones, by the way, it would probably be Amy Winehouse.
Nice.
If not,
That's a show, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Oh, you like Amy Winehouse, don't you?
yeah,
I had to get to see her perform live
it would have been.
and obviously play with her.
Mm.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty
definitely.
cool.
Right. Have we got another question?
We do actually.
Do one more.
is it the
'cause we're
last one,
approaching
or-
2:30 very quickly.
It is. Yeah, it is. Okay, we have one more question. Your favorite album of all time?
Ouch.
Didn't even think I could answer. Have we done this?
Yeah, we
before?
have.
We've done this.
We've done it multiple
Oh,
times.
I
probably.
do know what mine is. Yes.
Mine might have changed.
Can we quickly run through ours while you have a think? Just to recap.
Yeah, aye, go for
Because
it.
mine was out of the blue.
I'm gonna do some.
I mean, you probably guessed
research.
mine.
We're born to run.
Born to Run, yes.
Mine was Reckless by Bryan Adams, but
It could have been Tom Petty, couldn't it?
I did also say Wildflowers
Yes,
by
you
Tom
did.
Petty. But yeah, I'll stick with Reckless because Reckless.
Have you had time to think?
Yes,
Perfect.
Only by the Night. Kings Leon.
Oh.
Very good.
Is that the one with the bucket on?
No, it's got Closer on it. It's got.
Only by the... What's the album cover like?
It's got like it's their Four Faces, which is like it's a green album cover. Four Faces, which
Oh.
merge into like an eagle.
Oh, I know which one you mean, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Are they an underrated band, Kings of Leon?
Oh, very
I got into Kings of Leon for a period.
early days.
really
Youth,
cool.
Young and Manhood, the first album, which again is probably up there as well.
that one.
that
Oh,
is
it's
the
we
one.
use somebody's on it.
It's
as
got
well,
You
isn't it?
Somebody on it, yeah, which I
Aye,
suppose
Sex
is,
on
you know,
Fire.
yeah, but that's probably my favourite album of all time.
That's a good shout, that, yeah.
Excellent.
Nice
Well,
one.
on that note, I think we'll wrap up. Thank you very much for joining us. This has
Thank you
been
very
awesome.
much for having
Been
us.
good.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been really cool to have another guest on. Like I say, after this, we're going to get Keiran to play his new song Barcode, and it'll be the end of the podcast and an individual video if you want to go check it out. But until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Au revoir.
Ew.
I open up my eyes, another reckless night. I took myself to the bar and I took it too far. Again, my health is paralyzed. It's my own kryptonite. I toss and turn in bed as I turn to the meds, but they don't help this time. No. And I'm screaming, where do I begin? Where do I fit in? Am I just another barcode? Another barcode. Another barcode. Am I just another barcode? Out here stressing and I'm feeling low. Second guessing, I already know where I'm gonna go, but I wanna be told. Am I just another barcode? Another barcode. Another barcode. Am I just another barcode? Scan away lately. Don't need you to tell me. Maybe I'm just another memory. Out is stressing and I'm feeling low. Second guessing, I already know where I'm gonna go, but I wanna be told. Am I just another barcode?
What the?